Hello, guys. Welcome back for episode number 2. We are back here with the Boston Bruins and what would be technically year number 2, as we are here at the trade deadline. And we talked about some moves last episode that involved Pavel Zacha, Henry Yokiharu, and we'd be bringing in guys like Josh Norris and Zach Whitecloud. So we're going to do that. We're going to make those moves. We're going to why not? Look at how, just to bring us up to speed here, look at how the Jakub Vrana move helped us last episode when we acquired him for Andrei Kuzmenko. He's got 21 points in 29 games. So could happen again. I'm not saying it's going to happen for everybody, obviously. But my ideal lineup here, once everybody's healthy, would be Elias Lindholm, Casey Middlestat, David Pastrnak, Vrana, Norris, and then Morgan Geekie. And again, if Casey Middlestat were to pop up a trade that we could make to offload him and bring in someone else, more than willing to look into that, of course. I also did some scouting. I did not see anybody else who I'd be willing to go after. I know I looked at guys like Trevor Zegras, Shane Pinto, but I think we'll just stick with what the options we had last time. So let's get in here to the trade deadline here. We're going to keep the current block here, and let's enter the trade deadline. As we enter here, we know the moves we're going to make. Let's just look here who is the top 10. So Evan Bouchard, who never signed his contract. Tyler Bertuzzi, Michael Matheson, Nick Schmaltz, Thomas Hertl, Gustav Nyquist, Claude Giroux, Rasmus Anderson, Jake Evans, and Carter Hart. I know we did talk about Rasmus Anderson, but of course we don't know what he's going to want for a contract extension as his contract's up this year. Zach Whitecloud does have a couple years left though on his deal, so we're going to make that move first to get that out of the way. So let's bring up Vegas. Trade alert to start off, though. Here we go. Carolina trades Kotiavari and a third to San Jose in exchange for Mario Ferraro and Vincent Desharnais. I was looking here with Vegas, though, trying to avoid maybe even Josh Norris trade, but I was looking at Nick Waugh, but he doesn't fit what we're looking for, unfortunately. Just a power play and penalty kill line. Would have been a bad option to replace that on the second line, but we're going to stick with what we looked earlier. So let's go to the defenseman. Zach Whitecloud right there. It's 3 years left at 2.6, so not a terrible deal. Montreal has a trade alert here. They're trading Patrick Laine, and a fourth to the Wings in exchange for 2 seconds and Gumond. So let's look at that Laine trade right after. Let's look at that Laine trade right after here. So let's see. We're going to put Yokiharu. Send him back to them. So he's 20. So Yokiharu is 26. Same with Zach Whitecloud. He is, I believe, a little bit older. Yeah, he's 29, but we got 3 years of him. Yokiharu too. I like Zach Whitecloud as a player better. And right now, as you take a look at the value, we got more on our side. Ducks trade a second, Solberg and Clara to the Montreal Canadiens in exchange for Michael Matheson. So Montreal offloading everybody, looks like right there in their organization. So as we were, though, looks like we get more value than what they're sending back. So we're going to try and get a pick out of them. Go back here. I know I can't get a second. Let's try a third next year and a sixth this year. Just might be pushing it a little bit, but let's try here. Trade rejected, of course. So let's try if we can see if we can get rid of the sixth. The Jets trade alert, though, again, quickly. They trade Fjerg, McMillan, and Divicentev to the Sharks for Liljegren and third and a sixth. So let's just go back to our trade. That's not going to go through, so I think we have to go with a later pick. Let's go down here. Try and get a sixth from next year and a seventh for this year. I think they can give up a couple picks so we can get equal value. Again, I do apologize in the background. My dog's running around. Can't live with it. Okay. Try this quickly before we read the trade alert. There we go. So Yokiharu for Zach Whitecloud in the sixth. Josh Norris right there. Okay, so we ran out of time there. Philly just traded for Josh Norris. Let's go back to the trade summary here for a second. What'd they get? They got Josh Norris in exchange for a second and Noah Cates. So our Josh Norris trade, we took a little too long. It's presumably on me because I kept talking for too long. But he has been moved. So we need to find, if we're going to make this trade with Pavel Zacha, another idea here. At least make a trade here. They're trading a second, a fifth, and Gravel to the Flames in exchange for Jake Bean and a fourth. So again, like we said, we're not trying to be competitive. We're still in a build stage. So I just want to see if there's any centers we can go after. Like a guy like Cole Perfetti I was looking at, but I don't think he fits our coach's scheme. Yeah, he fits forward line 1. But hold up. Maybe Cole Perfetti's not the... But they're... let's look for a team that's trying to sell here. Second to second, Brunette for Nick Waugh on his third. So Vegas keeps knocking on our door. Maybe we should add to that deal and brought Waugh in. I'm going to say no on this one. We can revisit this trade later on. We still got plenty of time. It's only still got like 4 hours in the trade deadline here. The Canucks really got a center that we could try and pry. Nothing that can replace that second line. Keep going here. Here we go. St. Louis, they should have something. Robert Thomas, no. Kings make a trade alert. Kings are taking a second Gavrikov for the Blackhawks in exchange for Jason Dickinson, Ilya Mikheyev. Yeah, we're still here, though, trying to think of what we can do to help our team. I'm even looking here. Braden Shen, 3 years. Zach Bolduc, the only thing I could think of here. But 23, they're not going to want to part ways with a 23-year-old. Let's keep looking. San Jose. Celebrini Smith, yeah. I mean, unless we're going after a guy like Claude Giroux, but I don't think that's the case. Chicago making a trade here. A third, a fifth, and Morgan Barron to the Tampa Bay Lightning exchange for Hudinen and Hilbrandt. So what does Claude Giroux, what would he bring to our team? Fits line 4. He is a good, if I'm going to do this, I'm not going to put him up there. 9.6, though, that's a little high. If I'm making the move, it's going to be, you're looking at a guy like Kastelik, if anything, moving back. Kunestenov, Beecher. I don't think we're going to make that move today. Danton Heinen and a fourth. The Kings in exchange for Kyle Palmieri and a fourth. Yeah, I just don't see it happening here that we make a deal to bring in a guy like Claude Giroux for rental here. Yeah, nothing out of the ordinary. Yeah, I don't see anything happening there. So let's keep rolling on here. Pittsburgh, another team that's got a losing record, might be wanting to part ways. Yeah, nothing I can really replace though on that second line. I know we're still competitive. We're still in a spot to make the playoffs. Second, third, and Thomas to the Flames in exchange for Kiri Vanta and a third. Ottawa's listed as a seller. I don't think. Again, I looked at Shane Pinto, Ridley Gregg even. But we're going to keep looking here. Nashville. Nothing here. It might be just sticking with what we got here. I know the Wild always have Eriksson Ek on the trading block, but if it's top 6, again, I don't want to make the huge splash because let's just see here quickly, though. Gotta try. Pavel Zacha. Yeah, so they have a lot more value than what we'd be wanting to get. Maybe revisit that in the offseason, but you're looking at a guy like Eriksson Ek who is 29 versus Zacha who is 28. Eriksson Ek obviously the better player, but a lot of value that we need to find a way to equal. If we want to make this keep going. The Blue Jackets, the Capitals make a trade here. Second to the Golden Knights in exchange for a third, a fourth, and Kirkland. Looking here, again, we're not going to pry one of their young centers out of here, and I don't want to go after a guy like Boone Jenner, 32, and he's got an extension. No, we'll avoid that. Chicago, Joe Veleno, but nothing, again, too special there. We got an extension of 6.6. What do we have for fifth with the fourth line? Hockey Club trade Nick Schmaltz, the Ducks, in exchange for Seneca and Weeb. So the Ducks loading up and trading off their future. Calgary. Again, I don't think, Sarangovich not going to want to pay part ways with a guy like Connor Zary, Blake Coleman, Morgan Frost. Not high enough overalls to replace on that second line. Here, I'll show you. They got look at this team here now. They got McTavish, they got Carlson, Schmaltz, Strome, and Trevor Zegras again is the odd man out. He fits line 1, and he can play the left side. So if I'm making this move, just hypothetically speaking, I don't even have to part ways with a guy like Zacha right away. I don't think. Again, we have the more value. Is there any? There's no young players who want to give up, obviously. When it comes to draft picks, I mean, what, giving up a first from the Leafs gets it done, I think. Just go back here, though. Maybe we might actually pull the Zegras trade off here. But let's just see. What would a trade with Pavel Zacha, what are teams willing to offer? No, not Zadorov, Zacha. Second in Gibson, second, third in Clifton, second in Faxa, Ethan Bear, third and a fourth. So, again, with Zacha, he's got what, 2 years? I don't want to make the move for the sake of it, but I'd be willing to move him to get a pick, or move him to get. Let's just try here something with Anaheim here. I'm going to just spitball as we're looking at this. So Pavel Zacha will offer. We'll take back Trevor Zegras, who could play the first line if we need to, because then you'll have Middlestat, Zegras, and Pasta. So again, we have more value. So any guys who they'd be willing to give up that we could throw in here. Nothing that would impact the team right away. Trade alert. Nicholas Waugh again. Yeah, see, and again, I'm all over the map. I do apologize here. I should have been more prepared, but where does Waugh fit again? I think it's just our power play and penalty kill lines. Yeah. If anything, he'd be an upgrade over Kastelik. Like, if I did here Waugh for a guy like Kastelik, I'd have to give up a little bit more. Did we look at that again? But let's just worry about here. We want it from a guy like Pavel Zacha. I know Zegras does not have an extension, but that's the risk we're going to take here if he fits in. Okay, so again, this may. Actually, we might be able to do away with this. We move Kastelik for Zegras. Hear me out. So that gives them the bottom 6 center for them. And then we can move Zacha for Nick Waugh. I know he doesn't fit our scheme, but we could try with the coaching talk to put it through. I know this doesn't seem realistic, Kastelik for Zegras 1-for-1, but we'll try it. The Capitals are trading a second, a fifth, and Dow to the Blues for Ethan Barrett, a third. So let's try this here. So we're giving up Mark Kastelik for Trevor Zegras, who can play on our first line. Kastelik, who will get replaced with Nick Waugh once we move Pavel Zacha. Let's try it here. Proposed trade. Trade rejected. Okay, as I figured. But let's give up. I'm willing to give up a pick here. We brought in 2-6, so let's give up a 6th. A second from next year. But we're going to pull a pick back from next year. Buffalo trades a second, 2 seconds, lenders to the Canadians for Jake Evans and a 7th. Okay, so what I'm willing to propose here is 2nd next year, a 6th this year, Mark Kastelik, for Trevor Zegras, and a 3rd next year. I think that's fair. I'm even going to be a little bit more greedy here. Take a 7th for this year. Just swap, so we're swapping picks around. Okay, let's see if this works. Trade rejected, okay. Would it just be a 3rd that can work? No. What if we try just a 6th? Trade rejected. Okay, so we'd have to take salary back. It's not much, but let's try. I'll try and do it anyway. It's like nothing. Yeah, okay. Trade accepted, as I figured. Okay, so we get Trevor Zegras, who will play first line minutes, and now let's move Pavel Zacha out for Nick Waugh. So Pavel Zacha and for Nick Waugh. So again, we have more value. I think again we can get something else out of them. Not obviously in seconds. Go a 3rd next year, and then they got nothing crazy when it comes to prospects. Let's just go back here to our draft pick. So a 3rd next year. and a 6 in 2028. I think that's a little much, but let's try it anyway. Trade rejected. Okay. I think it's fair. That's our new third line center, and then once we're healthy, we'll look at our roster as a complete whole. But Pavel Zacha for Nick Waugh, they got to go third because, again, I think Zacha's more complete player than Nick Waugh, and he's done more this year. So 34 points for Waugh this year. Pavel Zacha, actually, they're very close. But we'll try it anyway. So Pavel Zacha, Nick Waugh, and a third. Trade rejected. Maybe a third was a little too rich. Let's try a fifth and a seventh. I'm trying to get picks. I think it's only fair. Won't go through. Get rid of the seventh. All right, let's try 1 for 1. Like, I don't know what else we're going to try here if it doesn't work. They keep trying to give us Waugh. I think something's going to happen good if we pick up Nick Waugh here. Proposed trade. Trade rejects still. All right. We got picks for, not picks for days, but here again. Give them their 6 back next year. See if that goes through. Still trade rejected. Interesting. The Islanders trade a second, Kangas, to the Utah Hockey Club for Cargoni, a 4th and a 5th. Okay, my only other suggestion here is because I knew they were throwing rookies here. Put up this Feu guy, and then we'll give up their 6. They're getting a prospect and a draft pick. Trade rejected still. I don't want to retain much. I'll retain a I know this just gets more and more unrealistic the more I'm retaining money for players. $1 million. We only have to pay him for 1 more year. Let's try it here. Trade accepted finally. I know that was going to finally happen once we accept money. So looking back at our trade summary here, or what we did today, we acquired Nicholas Waugh. We swapped him with Zacha, gave up a lower tier prospect and a 6th. We then traded Mark Kastelik at a 6 for Trevor Zegras. And we also acquired, where are we? Sorry, I just lost my train of thought for a second. We acquired Zach Whitecloud in a 6 for Henry Yokiharu. So we'll look at the rosters or the lineup once this trade deadline passes. Let's just go back here. We got 15 minutes left here. The biggest trade here of the day, though, had to be that Detroit-Montreal trade. Go down here earlier in the trade deadline. Yeah, Patrick Laine to the Red Wings. Didn't see that one coming. We could have used a guy like that, I think, maybe for the second line. But, again, we'll see what we bring this year. If we make the playoffs, we make the playoffs. We don't, we don't. It's not the end of the world. I like where we're going with this team. Couldn't do anything with Casey Middlestad. We were too focused on everybody else today. But we can also, again, look at the draft once it comes around, move them out. And we just take a look here. Okay, so the trade deadline has complete. We already saw the trades. We went through them, so let's just back out of there now. Just want to go here quickly for the pending free agents. So, yeah, you move a guy like Middlestad out. Natchez would be available. I know it's kind of rich right away off the bat to be thinking. But you got a guy like Natchez, you got a guy like Schmaltz. I think Natchez would be the best option if we went and targeted him, depending how we feel. Yeah, he'd fit the line 1. He'd play perfect with a guy like Pasternak. So, again, we'll circle around when that time comes to it. But that's just what we're looking at going forward. Let's just focus on what we got going on now. So let's see here at the lines. I know we got all these injured guys still. But so, yeah, so there's Zegras going to play on the first line with Middlestad and Pasternak. Waugh, Lindholm, Nieto for... No, we're going to swap those 2 around. We'll leave it like that. Once again, once all our guys are back, we'll be good. Look at all that pluses there. Kreutz's going on the first line. Why not? If it's a +5, let's try it out. So, yeah, CC, Lindholm, Geeky, and Zadorov. Once they're all back, we will adjust our lines accordingly. So let's just get into some simming, and let's see how these new acquisitions pan out for us. Let's go up to a team like the Red Wings here. Just let's see here. Fabian Lice. Oh, yeah, so we did have some guys that we were trying to sign last episode. So some multiple players are back. Let's see what we got here. When it comes to a healthy roster, who is back? Cody Ceci is the only one back. So take Peak out. Slide Ceci in there. and we'll wait to see what happens with more injuries once everything comes back to Providence. We don't worry right now. Continue simming the loss right there. Hampus Lindholm's back. So I'm willing to do. I'm not willing. I'm willing to. I want to do this. So we'll take Kreutzer out for the time being. Put Lindholm back in there to go with McAvoy. Still keep the +5. But here on the second line, we're going to put Kreutzer for the time being. We still have Zadorov out. I know it's not a plus, but at least he's getting some playing time right now, which I think he deserves. He's coming here and done great for us. Like I said, he's going to be great for us going forward. Another loss to Ottawa right there. Zadorov is back. So this is where we're going to send Kreutzer back down to the minors, just so he could be playing first-line minutes in Providence. And we'll make these adjustments quickly. I think it's better for a guy like him to get the time in the minors now than it is later on. Or sorry, that made no sense. I think it's better for him right now to get that experience down there in the minors so he can play, get more playing time than being up here and if stunting his growth. Just make sure he gets in. Yeah, fitting. There we go. Line 1, we're good. Still waiting on our forwards to recover. Let's keep going here. We got Buffalo. We're still sitting on a wild card spot. Wait, there we go. We beat Buffalo in regulation. Beat Chicago in overtime. And we're going to go into Pittsburgh now. Zach Whitecloud out with an injury until March 23rd. So he's going to be out about a week or so. Or more like a day-to-day, actually, if anything. On the road against Toronto and Montreal. Losing a shootout. Losing overtime. So we got points in both games. But we want to get some points if we're making the playoffs here. And we know a team like Toronto is not making is going to make the playoffs, so that draft pick we're not hoping for is a lottery pick. Get back to the simming here. One on the road in Minnesota gets shut out. Morgan Geekie's back, so we're becoming a healthy team now, which is good to see. Going to send down. I think no. No, yeah, because we still have Peak up there, so we're good. I didn't want to send the wrong guys down. I'm going to quickly, though, head coach no. Yeah, we'll do head coach preferred quickly. So Zegers Podolstak. Yeah, so that's kind of what I was looking to see here. There we go. That's kind of what the forward core we were looking for. And then that's where we were. No. I want to go back here. There we go. So we'll do a real-time sim. Morgan Geekie's hurt till June 2nd, so that sounds like the end of his season. We'll have a coach sub him in. Elias Lindholm apparently hurt too. We'll take a look at those lines quickly before we do a real-time sim there against Detroit. But that doesn't look good if we lost Lindholm and Geekie at the same time. So we'll go to our edit lines quickly. We lost both of them, so we'll move Nick Waugh for now. You can play second line minutes, and we'll just we'll go real time sim here the next 2 games. Just see here, maybe if you got overtime action, we will watch the overtime game. Hopefully, it's not as terrible as last time. So let's go here against Detroit in our own barn. We're still holding on to a wild card spot, so let's hope we can continue that. First period, no scoring. We are shooting them though, 14-6. So let's keep up the pressure. Cam Talbot's been a brick wall over there so far by the looks of it. Second period. And of course, they're the ones that get the only goals that period, JBR and Andrew Kopp. In that second period, we're still shooting them 22-15. So let's see if we can mount a comeback here in the third. Haven't got a shot. There we go. Portis gets one right in front. And we're only down by 1. Let's try and get another one on the board here, tied up here. We're halfway through the third period. Penalty kill there for us. Kill it off. Come on, boy. Let's put some pressure on them. And Dylan Larkin looks like that may have iced it there. 3-1 with under 4 minutes to go, and that'll be it there. We lose in regulation to the Red Wings. I think we still hold on to our playoff spot, though. Let's just take a look quickly. Yeah, we're still sitting down to a playoff spot. We're 4 points clear. Nope, 2 points clear. The Rangers, if you look there in the Metropolitan, have 80. We have 82. So let's 9 games to go. We need to play, obviously, finish better than they are. Take it game by game, though. Elias Lindholm back. That's a good sign for us. We'll quickly slot him in there. Move Nick Waugh down to our third line. don't understand how this game is still so slow when it comes to these menus. Feels like it takes forever. All right, let's do another real-time sim here. Actually, we'll do a couple because if you look there, the Rangers are up within these next 3 games, so we'll be a close one. Let's do some real-time sim. Anderson versus Corpusal, first period here in Boston. High-scoring event, so they up 3-2. Roslovic, then Lindholm gets it back. Aho and Martinuk within a 3-minute span, but Trevor Zegras gets one back for us, and we're only down by 1 going into the second period. They're out shooting us 15-9. Let's see if we can get this back next period. There we go. We're tied 4-4 going here. Cody Ceci on the shorthanded goal. Mario Ferraro gets one from the point, and then Jakub Vrana right there in the face-off circle gets one to go with under 5 minutes to go. 27-20 the shots for them. Let's see if we can score one here and take the lead, or if we can force overtime, get some points. Every point is necessary in this next 9 games to help us. We need to hope we can get some help from the Rangers or other teams playing the Rangers. So back and forth. There we go. Nick Waugh gets one right there just outside the face-off dot as we're under 2.5 now. Power play for us, and that'll be all she wrote as we got one in regulation there against Carolina. Nice even match game. But I'd love to see us get 2 points there. And let's just hope again, like I said, that teams playing against the Rangers are helping us out for that playoff push for us. Quickly take a look there. So the Rangers tie with us. The Islanders drop a game. It's going to be, I think, a battle to the end. Let's do another one here in Tampa Bay. Very important game as well. As always, I think, like we said, we might just do all these games real-time sim just to keep up to date with what we're at. First period, they get 2. Kucherov has 2. Gets one early and gets one late. Second period, they're out shooting us 17-10. So Trevor Zegras gets one early in the second, but then Brandon Hagel gets one with under 3 minutes to go. They're out shooting us 32-21. But we need points, guys. Let's try and mount a comeback here. That's not what we're looking for. Nick Paul gets one. It's just a little over 17 minutes left in the third. They're on a power play. We get on the power play, but they've been outplaying us by the looks of it, 40-29 the shots right now. We just couldn't get some bounces by the looks of it. As time's rolling down here in Tampa, we drop an important game there if we don't pick up any points in this one. And we just, again, need to hope that we're having help from other teams. But big one here against the Rangers. Let's do especially against some real-time sim. No one's back yet here in Boston. We lost Geeky, as we saw for the rest of the season. So let's go here. We're in New York at MSG. Let's get a big game here from the boys. First period. There we go. That's what I'm talking about. So Perreault gets one. Just a little, almost a minute and a half into the period within the crease looks there. But then Pasternak had 2 and Waugh had 1, all within a 7-minute span. As we take a 3-1 lead going into the second period. So second period here. Holy moly, goals galore here. So we get 2 more to start off. We get Portis and then Zegras. But then they get Carson Suey, Arthur Kaliev, Will Culliel, Mika Zibanejad within a 5-minute span, but then Trevor Zegras gets one back to give us that 6-5 lead. So let's continue here in the third period. See if this goal scoring continues here. 4-on-3 power play for them. We kill it off. Great penalty kill by us as we now enter under 10 minutes left here in the third period. We're holding on. There we go. Nick Waugh gets one on Shesterkin, but then Adam Fox gets one not too long after. As time is rolling down, Fox ties it up there. As we are under 2 minutes now, and we're going to go to overtime here. So we're getting a point. We're going to jump in and watch the overtime, but it's not the point we're looking to not surrender that extra point to them. So make sure that the commentary is not on, just so we don't have to hear me talking over them. Boom, we're going to turn that down. But let's try and get that extra point on New York and try and get that separation going. So let's hop in here. In a very important road game, every point is necessary. But here we are in MSG. So it looks like Panarin, Fox, and Miller. We got Middlestat, Pasternak, and McAvoy out there. It is the Rangers with the face-off win. 7-7 high-scoring game, though, so we can score. It's just Strickland's holding on to that one. But I think Pasta needs one for a Hattie. Fox needs one for a Hattie. But let's hope it's our guys that get the win. Oh, that's good. Okay, so David Pasternak, guys, we haven't looked at the stats, but he's leading the league right there with 65 goals on the season. Can he hit 70? Let's see if he can hit 70 this year. It's good to see that our top players leading the league in goals as they're breaking in here. Panarin going into the corner. Nobody covering out front. Big block, though, right there by McAvoy. Gets knocked off the puck. Pasternak loses it, but he gets it back. Don't know why he couldn't curl or turn around and put on the Jets and go forward. McAvoy, middle stat. Back to McAvoy. In. That's a save by Shesterkin. Panarin up to JT Miller. And here come the Rangers 2-on-2. Adam Fox. Shot. Whoa! Nice swim and great glove save. Keeping us in this one. So we got Lindholm, Terry. They got Lafreniere and Zadinajad. They're still sending Fox out there. I sent out Hampus Lindholm for us. A big win right there. We got Hampus, Elias now. Elias getting held up along the boards. Almost loses that one. All right, here we go. Break it out, boys. So Terry, here we go, under a minute to go in overtime. As we make our way in here, gets the shot off Shesterkin though with the glove. Hold on for that one. Did not like the effort there at the second line. Let's get the third line out there and get some sparks going. Nieto and Zegras, they still got Lafreniere and Zibanejad. It looks like they threw out Braden Schneider. You definitely got to look at our 3v3 lines. We should have Nick Wall out there, not a guy like Matt Nieto. There's Lafreniere in. Glove there. And like a guy like Zadorov, shouldn't have him. We could have a guy like Zach Whitecloud out there. That's on me. We should be looking at our lines, but we're not going to worry too much right now. So let's see here if we can get an important defensive face-off. They just knock it out of the zone. Is it just me, or do you feel like watching these games, like there's no energy from the CPUs? Oh, look at that pass right there. Come on, Zegras. Nice pass, Nieto. That one's blocked, though. Let's get Middlestat and Pasta out there, and we'll get Charlie McAvoy back out there. They sent out their third line, so let's see if we can capitalize here on this offensive face-off with 25 seconds left here in overtime. And we get tied up there on the face-off. They're going to come out 20 seconds left here in overtime as they make their way in our zone. Trocheck all in front. That one stopped. Middlestat, come on, 14 seconds left. Go down the ice, boys. There we go, Pasta. You got McAvoy right in front. There. Oh. What was that? Okay, Trocheck, come on, guys. Come on, Swayman. I don't know if you call that a save or he just missed it, but big help right there for us as we're going to go to a shootout. All right, let's get back in here. Here we go. Shootout. Let's hope it's not like Mike Spritz spinning that up. Passed it in first here. Big stop by Shesterkin. I've sat through a CPU shootout that went 29 rounds not too long ago, so let's hope it's not the case here. Artemi Panarin. That one's saved by Swayman. Shut the door there. It's going to be Casey Middlestat now for us. Can he open the floodgates for us? Stop there by Shesterkin. JT Miller in now for the Rangers. He looks to put pressure on us. Comes in. That one's stopped by Swayman, though. As we go to round number 3. And it's going to be Trevor Zegras here. Zegras in for us. Stopped by Shesterkin. And now the pressure's on Swayman here. It's going to be Adam Fox out here. Adam Fox can win it for them. He makes Swayman, but Swayman holds on to that one. No sweat for him. Elias Lindholm now for us. Makes his way in Shesterkin. Oh, he cannot get by the glove though of Shesterkin. And Vincent Trocheck now with the game on his stick as he makes his way in. That one's stopped by Swayman though. We go to round number 5. No goals yet. Charlie McAvoy for us. He'll make his way in. That one's stopped by Shesterkin. Didn't even really try on that one. I really want to jump in and play as the team myself as Zibanejad comes in now. Zibanejad in. Goes to shooters go back and forth. Houstonov comes in. That one's toe saved by Shesterkin. Laffy Taffy. Alexis Lafreniere. As he makes his way in, he's stopped by Swayman. We're going to go to round 7. No goals yet. This is starting to Hampus Lindholm is apparently our captain. Another thing we got to fix after this game. Stopped by Shesterkin. Let me know what you guys think. Should be Pasternak? Should be McAvoy as our captain? Perreault in now. Scores. And there it is. We drop this one in a shootout. We drop an important point to the Rangers. Yeah, that one sucked. We had opportunities in overtime and just couldn't capitalize. High-scoring event. After tonight, though, we still sit in a playoff spot, holding on by 1 point. But again, all points, we need every point. Flyers dropped 1. We still got 6 games to go here. Let's go here. Against the Penguins, first period. They get 2. Palmieri and Russ, second period. We get 1 back. It's Portis. We're just going to do fast in here. Third period. They get 2 more. Palmieri and Joseph. And we drop this one 4-1. It's not looking good, guys. Not looking good. As we're going to move on to the final 5 is next up. It's the Toronto Maple Leafs. And I know looking at Korpisalo playing in nets, but I mean, we've had, I think Swayman at one point I saw was almost at 60 games. We're sitting at 85 points, a point behind the Flyers there for the last playoff spot. We need to get on a winning streak here as we move on to, we play in Toronto in the first period. There we go. That's a good start. Portis and Verana for us. Matthews gets 1 for them, but we're up 2-1 going in the second period. We got 1 there. Beecher gets 1. We're up by 2. Let's close this one out here in Toronto and get those 2 points that we desperately need. That's not good to straight see, though. Morgan Riley gets 1. About 4 minutes into the period. We need to hold on to this, boys. There we go. Matt Nieto gets another one for us there as we're getting outshot. But Matthews, about a minute and a half later, cuts the deficit to 1 again. Under 5 to go. Let's see if we can close this one out, guys. And we will close this one out. So we get 2 important points there in regulation against the Leafs. Our playoff dreams are still alive. So we're going to go move into Montreal now here. Again, we need points. Jeremy Swayman, like I said right there, you see 60 games played. As it stands here, we are in a playoff spot. Let's add some ground to our lead on the Flyers. So in Montreal here, first period. There we go. David Pasternak on the power play. We're getting close to that 70 for him. Let's see if we can get 70 on the year for him. Second period. 5-0. So Portis gets 1. Lindholm, Beecher, and Kuznetsov gets 4 for us that period. We hold a 5-0 lead. That is what we want to see here in the last 5 games. Good showing by us. Let's close it out here. Portis gets 1. I think that's a hat trick for him, if I'm not mistaken here. No, that's only 2. Sorry, it was passed out in the first period. I got 1. Late power play there. Elias Lindholm, yes, gets 1. 7-0 for us. We walk into Montreal and quiet the Bell Center. And that is all she wrote there. Another win for us. 7-0 over the Canadiens. And now it's into Carolina, sorry. Providence injuries. We'll worry about that later. Past that, I see down there 104 points. We'll look at that at the end. So 89 points. We got a 3-point lead. Let's keep going, boys. We got 3 games left. Let's get wins now. We can clinch first period. They get 2, Brett Burns and Slavin. Second period. They get 1, Robinson, but we get Lindholm. We're going to do a fast one here. Third period. It stays 3-1. They get the win. They outshot us 42-31. So it sucks there, but let's just move on to Florida and try and get another win there. We're watching. They get 1, 2 games to go, so we need to get. If we get a win, we're up to 91. We need 3 points, I believe, to clinch. But let's get 4. Let's get 4. First period in Florida. No scoring. We're treating them 17-7. Second period. We get 1. Portis gets 1 right there. And let's go third period. All important here. Let's shut the door, Swayman. Let's get another one, guys, on offense to give ourselves some more comfortable lead. There we go. Jakub Vrana on Bobrovsky. Makes it 2-0. There we go. Lettieri gets 1. It's 3-0. Goals come in there about a minute and a half apart. As time is rolling down here, 6 minutes, 5 minutes. All important win right here, boys, as we take this one 3-0 here in Florida. And last but not least, one last game. McAvoy with a sore foot, though. That's not good to see. He's back the 23rd, so rest him. Shouldn't be back, though, right away for the playoffs if we make it. But we prefer to have a healthy McAvoy. Oh, conversation, that might be a good thing. We'd make the playoffs. There we go, guys. We've made the playoffs. You can see right there by the coaching meeting, we've made the playoffs in year number 2 with the Boston Bruins. So I think good year all around from us. We'll just quickly go over that one. We made the playoffs, guys. There we go. We made the playoffs. With that loss, though, doesn't matter. We still finished with 91 points. Finished at the lower seed, so we are going to play the Panthers right away. So quickly go up here to when the playoffs start. We'll take a look at Florida's lineup. I think it should be roughly the same for what they have now. So quickly take a look, and we'll quickly take a look at some stats, and then we'll call it there for the night. So quickly, Florida. Yeah, I expect. Look at this. Kachuk, Barkov, Reinhart, Greer, Verhaeghe, Marchand. So you have 5 90 overalls in your top 6. No wonder why they're such a good team. Then you got Lundell, Pizzetta, Boakfist, Rodriguez, and Mike Hoffman. And on defense, Forsling, Ekblad, Jones, Mikula, Kulikov, Martinez, Bjornfoot, Balnas, and Maki Skamashevich. Scratch. Goaltender still got Sergei Bobrovsky, so they easily have the advantage over us. But never say never. But let's be honest, I don't think this will be a long series for them if they can do it quickly over us. So quickly take a look at some stats. David Pastrnak led the way with 105 points, 67 goals, 38 assists. Casey Milstad, almost a point per game player at 78. Same with Charlie McAvoy. Lindholm, 48. That's not good to see from a second-line center. But Trevor Zegras, what do you do here with us in your time? Yeah, see, look, 16 points in 20 games for Trevor Zegras. Not bad at all. Good pickup for us. I'll see what he wants contract-wise. I don't see why we wouldn't give him a contract offer. Nicholas Waugh, 13 points in 20 games. Not bad as either for a third-line center. So I think we have made good moves, guys, at the deadline, bringing in those guys. And then take a quick look. Zach Whitecloud. I don't expect much. Yeah, no points in 18 games, but I apologize for the dog in the background. But I like the better improvement over Yoki Haru for that one. Jeremy Swayman, 63 games started, 33 wins, 24 losses. 6 shutouts, 915 save percentage, 274 goals against Dartmouth. Holy moly, someone has the zoomies. Take a quick look at the rest of the league. Roscoe led the way with 43 wins. Marner had 126 points to lead the league. And Matthews right there, 71 goals to lead the league as well. But again, for us, great year. Not going to complain whatsoever. I thought we had a good year. Come back. And let's see how the playoffs go. That's going to be it for me, guys. My dog is gone insane right now. But yeah, see you guys next episode for the playoffs.